So to fill out your worksheet, you want to first go to the Study Abroad website, which you can find by typing it into the Brandeis Google search bar. And once you get to the website, on the left side, you want to choose financial information. And on this webpage, you'll find the budget planning worksheet. So once you click on it, it'll bring you to an Excel worksheet that looks like this. And this is going to be your main tool to figuring out how much you need to study abroad. So we also need to open a couple other tabs to help us find all the information for this worksheet. So the first tab we need to open is for Sage, and you find Sage the same way you find the Study Abroad website by typing it into the search bar. And this will tell you your Sage ID, which financial aid you're getting right now, and also will show you the charges you had for the fall and the spring. You also need to go to your Study Abroad website page, and it's going to look different for everyone. But this is the CIE website, so you would sign in, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You would go to Programs, look up your program by the region, and from there you can find the country, then the city, and then your specific program. So I'm going to choose Advanced Liberal Arts. And then once you scroll down onto that web page, it will show you how much the program costs in total. And for the CIEE website, if you choose the plus button to the right, it actually gives you an itemized list of the costs within the total cost of the program. This is going to be very helpful to fill out your worksheet. So we go back to your worksheet, and you want to fill in your name and your Sage ID. And to find your Sage ID, you can go to Sage and choose Find My Sage ID Number. Pretty easy. Copy that number and paste it in. And you also want to write in your program name. In case you're comparing a couple programs, it's good to keep track of which one is attributed to which costs. Then you also want to fill out the number of terms that you're going abroad. So if you're just going in the spring, it's 1 term. If you're going full year, it's 2 terms. Now we're going to look at your financial aid information. So to look up your total financial aid information, you go back to Sage, Financial Aid Info, and View Financial Aid Information. And then in here you can click on Your Awards, and this will show you what financial aid package you're getting for the semester. Now if that doesn't work for some reason, you can go back to Sage and go to Account Inquiry and choose Activity, and then choose the term, your most recent term, to see your financial aid package for that term. And this will show you how much tuition costs, all the fees, and how much financial aid you're getting. So for this year, we used the tuition cost of this year, but it may be different next year. And then you add in the off-campus study fee, the CISI insurance, and this is the travel insurance, the additional travel insurance, if they acquire it. And you look on the website and it doesn't look like they really acquire any additional health insurance. They have their own insurance fee of $102. So that would be 0 for Brandeis, and Q-Ship again is only if you don't have health insurance, but in Massachusetts you're required to, so you most likely do. Now to fill out your financial aid information, first start with institutional scholarships. You're going to go back to your Sage account and you look in to the current semester and you see that you get $17,240 in institutional scholarships. So that's the number you're going to put into the budget worksheet box. Next, you want to look up state and federal grants. So this could be an SCOG grant, a Pell Grant, anything that's a state or federal grant, dependent on your package. So if I look at my Sage account, I have a Pell Grant for $2,775, and I have an FSCOG grant of $750. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add those two numbers together and fill the total of $3,525 into that box. For outside scholarships, I can look and see if I have any, but I know I don't. So I'm going to go back to my budget worksheet and put 0 for that amount. For federal loans, what you want to do is add up the total of all your federal loans. So I have a sub-Stafford, an unsubsidized Stafford, and a Perkins loan. So I'm going to add those three up, and the total amount is what I'm going to put into the box. I know my parents don't take any private loans, and I don't take any private loans, so I'm going to put 0 in there, but if they did, that's what I would put in there. Now I have a total amount that I owe Brandeis, and that's a negative number, which means it's going to be a refund. Next, I want to fill in how much housing is going to cost and what I need to pay my abroad program. So I go back to the Study Abroad website, and I'm going to actually open it up in a new window and move it over so it's easier to compare the two. Here I see housing costs $4,400. So that's the amount I'm going to put into here. For meals, I'm going to see how much meals would cost, and it's not in the program fees, so that's going to be 0. So also for CIEE, there's usually a $300 confirmation fee, so I'm going to put that in there. But most other programs don't have a confirmation fee. And for my deposit paid to the program, I know I paid $500 already, so that's going to subtract it out of what I now owe to the program. Next, I want to look at my estimated additional costs beyond the Study Abroad program and Brandeis. So I already have a passport and photos, so I know it's not going to cost me any more. The Study Abroad website estimates $160 for a visa, and plus the potential travel of $500, I add those two together and I get $660. I know the rest of these boxes are 0. Next, for international airfare, I look at the website. It says $17.50. Fill that in there. Pretty easy. And for domestic travel, it looks like it's going to cost $400. I fill that in. And for books, they also usually give an estimate. There it is, $300. I fill that in. As you can see, it's slowly adding everything together. Now, since I didn't include meals in my program fees, they give me an estimate of how much I'm going to have to pay out of pocket, $1,150. So I fill that number in. And I know that my housing is covered over the breaks, so I'm not going to put anything into there. And for personal expenses, the website actually lists $2,800. So that is the amount you should put in. Because I was unsure of the cell phone fees and emergency cash, and therefore I decided to email my contact at the Study Abroad program to figure out exactly how much everything would cost line item by line item. So they told me that a cell phone would cost around $120, personal expenses would be around $40, and I would need about $50 in emergency cash. This is pretty unusual to have someone lay out all of these costs for you, but I was very fortunate. And for optional excursions and independent travels, I'm going to put in about $100 for a train ride. Now that we've filled out all of the financial aid information, we're going to look at it as a whole. This number is your total Brandeis charges, how much you owe Brandeis, and here's your total financial aid. So this line item, total due to Brandeis, is the charges less your aid. Now since this is a negative number, it means that you would be getting a refund from Brandeis to you towards other charges you may have. But the positive number is what you owe Brandeis. This line item is how much you owe the program separately, and this is what you would pay the program separately from paying Brandeis. Finally, this line item shows your total expenses and then your total cost of attendance for the program. Then at the bottom, you want to fill in how much your current cost of attendance is and see if it compares to the total cost of attendance. If it doesn't, it will indicate not okay. At the very bottom of this whole sheet is your total cost of what you need to pay everyone. So Brandeis, the program, and out of pocket. If anything on the worksheet indicates not okay, please contact us with the phone number, or if you have any questions, please feel free to call us or email us with the information at the bottom of the page. Thank you.